Casting like casting a line in the water. Actually, it's a funny story. Katie, when she was young, her dad said to cast out.
No, my first time fishing, my dad's like, just throw it in. Just throw it in. Well, I threw the whole daggone pole in.
She threw the whole pole into the water.
My dad was not a happy camper.
Let's talk about that.
I just did. I just talked about it.
I know. Yeah. Good morning, beautiful people. So it's 6:30. Do you know where your children are?
In bed.
Exactly. So casting, like throwing it to something else or throwing it into something, like Katie threw the whole pole into the water. But what should we be casting? Let's see.
Our cares upon Jesus.
Did you read my notes?
No, is that what you're preaching?
Yep.
Is that what you're saying?
Psalm 55:22. It says, "Cast all your cares on the Lord, and He will sustain you. He will never leave the righteous be shaken." He will never let the righteous be shaken. So, when we have cares, when we have worries, when we have things that aren't going our way or things that are just down in the mouth, He says to cast our cares onto Him. Now, a lot of times we don't want to. We want to take it on our own volition. We want to take it on our own strength. And then we, have this spiral of depression or anger or all kinds of stuff. And we wonder why we can't get out of that. It's simply because we don't really cast our cares on the right thing. We cast our cares on other people or events or situations. And those things fade away, or those things disappoint, or those things, fail us. I'm not saying that we don't need somebody physical there to help us, or not saying that it's not good to talk to somebody else, but our first response should be with God. And then He can bring people in our lives, or bring wisdom into our lives, or bring events into our lives to help us out. But a lot of times we always do the opposite, at least in my life. I don't know about yours. In my life, a lot of times I'll leave God to the last, which I should put Him first when I'm feeling that way. And then He says, and then He will sustain you. Not only will you cast the cares on Him, but then He'll even go further and sustain us through these hard times. And it gets easier as you do this. But again, our human sense is, let's do it ourselves. And then He won't let us be shaken. So this idea of being shaken is like tumbling or falling or not getting up. And sometimes we need to have that hope, that reassurance that God's going to be there. And if we cast our cares on Him first, then we'll have that foundation and won't be shaken and knocked down. So it's a lovely scripture. It's a wonderful scripture. Not only does He take the care away, but then He sustains us, and then He puts a foundation under us. But the first response has to come from us, that we trust Him to cast those cares on Him. If we don't respond, then it's very hard for God to trump our free will, or force us into being sustained, or force us into not worrying. We have to actually go to Him. So my encouragement for you today, if you're going through some tragedy or some hurt or some pain or some fear or anything, cast it on Him first, and then you can work through it. But He should be the first response. He's the first responder, right?
Wow, that's good.
He is. So, just a good encouragement for you today. I love you. Jesus loves you too. It's Wednesday?
It's Wednesday.
Hump day! Anyway. All right. Love you. Bye.